Hello students, today I'm going to show you how to do the pop art. Now I know we've kind of banged around about it and we didn't really, everyone's at their own level. So hopefully this video can help you. Please pause this. Almost got email. Please pause this anytime um, I ask you to do something and then come back and hit play. It's not that hard. It's the best way to learn. You can hit a little rewind, make sure you did it right, step by step. So we're going to start by opening I don't want to do that. We want to open your headshot. So I'm going to hit open. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm just going to drag from my desktop right into my Photoshop icon. Bam! And it should open up. Magic. All right, now I like my workspace like this. Here's the holy grail of Photoshop. Layers panel, very important. The first thing you need to do is Command J that you know what, because we don't want to mess up this background layer. And I like taking the eyeball off of it, so when we start working up from here, then you're not going to get confused seeing through some masks and things like that. First thing we need to do is crop this square. So we're going to hit C, the letter C for crop tool. It's also right here. If you don't see it, click it and hold it, find it, crop tool. And we're going to make sure this is a square crop. Now you could type stuff in there if you want, or you can do an easier way. You can hold down Shift, and when you click and drag, because we want a perfectly square crop. That way we can put 4 of them on a board and the board will be square. That's awesome. Yeah, let's go a little bit lower. There we go. Bam. Alright, now if you want, since it is your face, you can go up in here and you can flick the pan around. I hit Command plus plus or hold down Z and click move out. And you can clean up your face. Remember the shortcut key for the patch tool, J. It's also right over here. If you don't see it, click, hit, and find it. It's underneath the Band-Aid. Draw little circles around and drag them somewhere else. Now see how that moved it? It's because up here on the control panel across the top, I have destination and not source. So I'm going to undo what I just did, Command Z, and I'm going to choose source now, even with it still selected, and now when I move it, it cleans it up. Please don't remove your eyes and stuff like that. That was just play. We want this to look good. If you want to go around your face and clean you up like that, you can. I would pause it and come back, but you don't have to. Pause it and come back. All right, hopefully you're back. Here's my beautiful face. First thing we need to do is we need to eliminate our background. Now you guys are on white, so it's going to be really easy for you. But me, it's a little bit harder because I'm not on a white background. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and open a white picture. There we go. That's better. So we're on the same page. Let's go ahead and use our magic wand. Magic wand makes selections. It selects things. And before I start, of course, I want to duplicate my layer. Take my eyeball off the back layer because I'm working on the top layer. And I'm going to make a click right there. Now, I didn't get all of it. See that right there? If you look at your control panel with your magic wand selected, you'll see these 4 icons right here. The first one is New Selection, Add to Selection, Subtract from Selection, and Intersect with Selection. Now we have a selection of these pixels. We need to grab more. So what are we going to do? We're going to use maybe Add to Selection. There we go. Already had it clicked. Add to Selection. And there'll be a little plus sign right by your magic wand. Just click there, and now you've grabbed more of it. Fabulous. We've grabbed more of it. Now the tutorial, step-by-step video website tutorial tells you to use the pen tool. There's many ways you can eliminate a background. You don't have to use the pen tool. You don't have to use a magic wand tool. There's many different tools you can use. I just like the magic wand because it's easy, and I like easy stuff. So I'm going to make that selection. I'm going to hit delete. So hit delete and then hit Command D to deselect. Okay? So we had it. Here, let me go back. Command Alt Z. I made my selection. I'm going to hit and delete. Now I'm going to hit Command D to deselect. You can also go up here on the File menu and find Select, Deselect when it's selected, but Command D is easier to use. So we've eliminated our background. Fabulous. Let's put a color behind us, but before we do that, let's duplicate this layer. Command J that layer. Now we're going to select the layer below it and hit Command Shift N or create a new layer, and we're going to call this background, because this is going to be our background. And it is in the right position. You normally would think it should be behind here, but we're just saving this layer in case we screw up. So with background selected, we're going to hit Shift F5 on the keyboard, or you can go Edit Fill, which is not selected because it's right here now, but I just want you to use shortcut keys. Shift F5, and on your, back up. Since you got wireless keyboards, you have to hold the function key, the FN key in the lower left corner, anytime you want to use an F key. So when I say F5, F7, F9, you have to hold the function F5, F7, F9, not the letter F for 5, but across the very top row of keys. If you look close at them, they have F numbers next to them. So I would hold function, shift, F5, and I get the fill window. And I'm going to fill it with a color. And let's get a little funky here. I like pink. Hot pink, baby. Hot pink. Now, if you really want to get into it, you could do a gradient. You know, you don't have to do the color if you don't want to. Like say I want to do a gradient like this. I'm going to do white to green. Yeah, white. There we go. And I'm going to drag like that. Oops. X. Let's try it again. There we go. But you can do a solid color. It's up to you. Yeah, I'm going to do a solid color so we're all on the same page. Perfect. All right, go back and select your face layer because we need to desaturate it. Take all the color out of it. And we do that by either image adjustment desaturate or simply Command Shift U. So desaturate, where's it at, where's it at, where's it at, where's it at? There it is right there. See? Command Shift U. I'd do it that way because it's easier. Man, if you just remember those, it's really easy. So we have desaturated the image. Now we need to give it some chunky, sharp colored black and white. And we're going to do that by adjusting the threshold. And that's under Image Adjustment Threshold. Now when we walk through this, I told you all that, or some of y'all that, threshold, like this is called a histogram. And everything to one side is black and everything to one side is white. See that right there? So adjust the histogram with the midtones of it, just where you get some, you get some detail, but not too much detail, but not blown out as much because we're going to be painting these black pixels. There we go. That's good for me. 131. Perfect. Now, the most important thing to do right here is the Gaussian blur. But before we do that, we're going to Command J that sucker again because we don't want to mess up with the Gaussian blur. We're going to eyeball that off. See right there, eyeballing that one off so we only see this layer and only see this layer. We have this layer selected and we're going to go Filter, Blur, Gaussian blur. Now I know you saw Gaussian blur right there, but that's just Gaussian blur the last time you used it, which is not what you want. You want to be able to adjust this slider. You wouldn't be able to adjust the slider if you hit the other one. So you blur it the way you like it. You want it to look bad, okay? You want it to look really blurry, something like this. And you can come in here and click and see a before, after, before, after. That's my eye right there, before, after, before, after. You can also Command minus and zoom back on the main picture or zoom back on the little picture, just like that, before, after. I'm going to make it nice and blurry like that. Okay, we need to, after we've blurred it, we need to go ahead and take this face and get it into a new document and change it into a bitmap, which is a different type of file. It's just recorded differently, and this is how we're going to get our dot matrix effect. So we're going to right click this layer and we're going to click duplicate and be sure the destination is new because we're going to put it in a new document. Now some of you notice, here let me dock these together. I wonder if they'll let me. It won't let me. Some of you guys have your windows that are docked together like this. Grab the tab and pull it down. We want to be working on the new document, this one right here. The brand new one, should say untitled. First thing we're going to do is go Image, Mode, Grayscale. Now grayscale is a little bit different than what we did with desaturate. Desaturate and grayscale are not the same thing. Let's not worry about why they're not right now, but we're just going to Image, Mode, and then Grayscale. But the second time we're going to go Image, Mode, Bitmap. And again, it's ask you to flatten layers. You say OK. Your background's going to turn back to white. It asks you about pixels per inch. Don't change any of these. Just make sure that this method is halftone screen. It should have defaulted to it, but make sure it says halftone screen. Click OK. and then it's going to ask you how many dots and what are the angles of the dots. Right now my dots are going to be 90 degrees straight up and down at 210 lines per inch. Now that's a lot, but this is a higher res image. If we had a lower res image, we would have much lower numbers here. So I'm going to leave it at 210. Type in 210 if you're using your headshot. If the dots are too big, then you need to undo it and do it at like 150 or 100 or whatever. I'm going to click OK. Oh wait, before I do that, I just want to show you something. Bitmap, flatten all layers, yes, yes. Right here, the shape, this is the shape of the dots that you're going to have. Square, cross, line, round, diamond. I'm going to go with diamond this time. Click OK. Now, you don't really see what happened until you zoom in. I just hit Command++ and I zoomed in. Now, as you see, they're not very diamond shaped. That's weird. Wonder why. My dots are too small. See, right in here, I don't know, maybe not. Yeah, they're too small. I'm going to undo, Command Z, and undo, and do it again. Just go to Bitmap, flatten all layers, pixel branch. This time I'm going to go, let's go 350. Now, you think that's more or less dots? 350 per inch, and I'm also going to go round. There we go. Now when I zoom in, oh, that's even smaller. I want bigger dots, so Command Z and undo, image mode, bitmap, and flatten all layers, resolution. Let's go 100. These should put fat dots. And I'm also going to put a little bit of an angle here. I'm at 120 degrees. Bam. Now, look at this. Did you see the difference then? They're bigger because there's less frequency, so it gives it more texture. See, when I zoom back, I can still see that. So you get it the way you want it. I like this look because we're going to, we want it to look rough and chunky and all that. So that's what we want to do. So, you know what? I want to make it more rough and chunky. Image mode, bitmap. This time I'm going to choose, let's choose 65. 65. There we go. See how much bigger they are now? Anyway, zooming back, Command 0 to make it full size. Now let's turn it back into an RGB image, a red, green, blue image, just like this one, so we can bring it back into this one. So, on this one, we're going to go Image, Mode, Grayscale. It's going to ask you a few things. Let it default to what it says, and then go Image, Mode, RGB. Red, green, blue. Now we got Image Mode, RGB. Now we're going to right-click this layer. We're going to go Duplicate, and choose our original image as the destination. Bam. Now we're going to close this. All right, go to video 2 because this one's getting a little long. We don't want to save that document because we're done with it. Go to the next video and follow along. See ya.